what? Bodybuilding isn't hard. It's fucking boring.
No such thing as optimal. That's just another word for perfection, and we know that's bollocks. So just have fun, enjoy it, feel the muscle, have a nice time training.
When I reduced his protein down to 180, people were just like, what the fuck are you doing that for? He's not going to grow any muscle. That's funny. I have to re-profile later.
Well, people saying they live in the box, but that doesn't mean that you should deny yourself the freedoms of real life.
If you are not learning, you're not being coached. You're being dictated to. I do top set, back off set. Okay, why? And nobody can give me an answer.
Jordan said to do it. Bitch and a Cow is a far superior song by Doja Cat compared to this. Right, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm here today with my coach, Vicky. Is it Owens? It is Owens, isn't it?
Owen.
Owen.
Owen with a N.
Yeah.
No S.
Today we're going to be doing some back and just sort of running through whatever's going on in the minute. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video. And obviously the last one I sort of detailed how we've moved from what was a prep into now just going back into sort of improvement, as I didn't feel like I'd made enough improvements. So just looking to get bigger, and I'll probably run through a bit of sort of how I'm doing my diet at the minute, because it is a much more relaxed approach than I've done previously, which I think is working very well actually.
I think so.
I'm going to look a lot better, even at like 10 kilos up from my weight cap. It's the best that that's looked. So
Indeed.
We'll just run through that and also run through the session. So we'll do most of my back session and then some of your shoulder session.
Well, I don't really have a shoulder session. I'm just going to tickle shoulders just a little bit.
Well, Vicky has just recently had a baby. So,
Yeah, like 10 weeks ago.
Yeah. So still in sort of recovery from that. Well, not the typical women.
No, not the typical
This
recovery.
is, women unable to train and that sort of thing for a long period of time. I think you were back in the gym within 10 days or something.
6 days.
6 days.
Yes, day number 6, I was back in the gym. Although I will preface that by saying that was a fucking idiotic thing to do. So please don't do that. But yeah, I'm just built a little bit.
To find out. Right, do you do any stretching? And I love the conversation. I love the do you do any stretching conversation. And it's like, oh, well, I do some body weight squats. And it's like,
Kind of not a stretch.
it's like, that's not stretching, is it really? Or like, oh, I'll do some leg swings.
Oh, leg swings, those are my favourite.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
leg
like,
swings.
that's a little bit of warm up.
I know.
Right.
Have you ever done this before, a hack squat? No. Now runners, on the other hand, they can leg swing. And they do this.
That's because that's what they're doing.
Ow, that clicked my hip.
Maybe you should do some more
see,
of them.
Maybe I should do some more hip openers like that because it clicks.
But anyway, like mobility work is something that's so left out. It always is. It always has been. But when people are like, oh, I've got this niggle, this, that, and the other, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and you're like, no, you're just not stretching.
Yeah, you're
like,
just lazy.
You've got stronger and now you've become tighter. That's what happens. You have to keep, like, I always say to clients, like, stretching is the oil that sits in the engine.
Indeed.
If you haven't got any oil, you'll just seize up.
Yes, exactly.
And then it's a very large bill. Which
And the more muscle that you grow,
yeah.
the laxidaisy your tendons and your ligaments become. And then you end up tearing shit.
That's not fun.
Don't tear shit. That's silly. Have you done enough mobility now?
That's it, that's it done.
That's it, that's
Yeah.
it done.
And there's also another one, you lie over a foam roller, but I'm actually very mobile this way.
Yes,
so
okay, you're
it's
more
not too
mobile than
bad.
I am.
Yeah.
And he's got bigger shoulders than I do.
First exercise, pullovers, so I need to bring up my lats, or everybody does really. So this is the most lat exercise you can do. You're basically just taking that elbow all the way into stretch and all the way into contraction through the lat, trying to feel the armpit. So this machine is basically the armpit machine. Okay, that should be all right.
Yeah. Alex, wide. Me, not so much. When you are vertically challenged, like myself, being tiny in nature, that's going to be too heavy even for me to demonstrate. There we go. You will see that I am not going to be able to actually engage efficiently, so I cannot use this machine. So when you are small, you have to come with me.
Cable.
This is a lovely contraption called a Vulcan strap. If you don't know what it is, find out. I'm not going to explain in detail. That's what Google is there for. But I personally find that by doing this, you can actually lift and move a load more load and engage your lats a lot better. So as you come from a high position, you again still get the engagement from elbows into your lats with a nice big stretch and bring it in. But it's also quite good for a core stability movement as well. Obviously, you're not just isolating something, so it's a full body movement. So again, just because one person does one exercise doesn't mean you have to do the exercise, especially if it doesn't suit your leverages. Oh God.
This is a nice machine, to be fair. Nautilus. So the one that, like the famous one that Dorian used was also a Nautilus, but this is obviously a newer one. The really fat handle's actually really good.
So what most people get wrong about a lat exercise is that they don't load the stretch. Now the stretch is obviously going to impact your recovery quite a lot because stretching the muscle and loading that muscle under the stretch is going to impact recovery because it's fucking harder. But if you watch what Alex is doing, he's not bouncing out of the stretch. Come on. And he's fully contracting everything. Yep. Go on, a little bit more. Good.
Wow, it's heavy.
It's not that heavy. It's not that heavy. So you can also see what I did with the spot for Alex. I didn't do the lift for him. It was literally a 2-finger help out.
Well, knees nicely shoved into this pad. There's a chest pad here, you should definitely use it. Don't lean back like this, otherwise it's basically a row at this point. We want it as a pull down to get as upright as you can. And we are just trying to tense this armpit again, not thinking too much about just pulling with the arm or forearm or whatever. You are just trying to get in here. So get the tension through it and just drive down, yeah? The hand ends up where it ends up. It is just about getting that elbow, trying to get it forward a little bit and then pulling it all the way in. And you should feel those lats straight away just by doing that. It's very simple. I have fucked it up in the past. Plenty of other people continue to fuck it up, but simple cues and you'll get in that lat straight away. So chest on the pad, core neutral, and just get the tension through here before you move. Straight in there, easy.
You can do a lot of unilateral work to really engage the lats unilaterally. That was really stupid, wasn't it?
Single-armedly.
Single-armedly.
Getting the word count up there.
We can do that better because lat. So Alex is obviously going to do much heavier than I am because I haven't done a single arm pull down in a very long time.
Where's my other strap?
He's lost his straps. He's lost quite a lot more than that. So we'll obviously talk it through when we go through it and shit like that. But it's all about alignment into it. You've probably seen 1,000 fucking videos on YouTube and on Instagram. The best way how to do a lat pull down.
Well, this is, you know.
And it's boring. So I'm not going to go through that. I'm literally going to say the best way to do a single arm lat pull down to activate your lats is making sure that it's right for you and you can feel the fucking thing.
Well,
that's it.
A reason there's a chest pad on this machine.
Exactly.
You have to use it.
I'm possibly too short for this machine.
Well, these machines are made for people who are 5'10". Every machine in the gym is made for people who are of average height.
And guess how tall I am? I'm not 5'10".
No. If you're anywhere from sort of 5'8" to 6'2", you will fit in machines. Anything but above or below that, you are going to have a bad time.
Yes, indeed. I've got a client, physique client, wonderful human, Dieter. He's 6'10". He has many problems.
That's just inconveniently tall.
It is inconveniently tall.
So when you see on TikTok and you see those tall people meetup videos, people are there like, I'm 7'2", and you're like, that sounds horrible.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
I spent my whole childhood being like, I was predicted as a child to grow really tall because I put on weight really fast. So from 0 to 5, I like put on a shed load of weight. Anyway, the growth chart meant the doctors predicted me to be on like the highest percentile for height. So they said I was going to be 6'5" because my grandpa was 6'4".
Oh.
5'9" and 5'9" wide.
Basically, what Alex is saying is that he's just a fatty.
Yep.
And has been since he was born.
But this is the thing, tall guys can't eat. All of them. Every single tall guy I know, they're all there like, oh, 3,000 calories. You're like, what the fuck? Like, you're fucking 6'6".
I find that many short people are quite strong.
It's because they have a complex.
You're trying to say that I've got a complex?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I don't consider myself short. Small. Small is
I'm not
different.
short. Everyone else is tall.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. That's the reason why my BMI is so high. I'm
Right.
just not tall enough.
Mine was, I think at my highest off season, it was like mine. I got up to like 38 or something.
You fat.
Yeah.
One more.
Yes. Easy money.
I wouldn't say that was easy. Or money. Ugh. So you'll also remember in the last video, I took the piss out of Alex because I said this is the reason why he has no sponsors. Because he doesn't advertise. And now he's literally going, oh, look at the placement of Hardbody.
I think I
Hardbody,
was already
GASP.
sponsored by them at that point.
I know, you just never actually advertised. But now GASP, Hardbody.
What you do is you get enough followers to be like, why the fuck haven't I got any sponsors? And then you just ask them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Go on then. Come on, pull down.
Whoa.
Nice.
Good. Yep. And again. Good.
Oh, fucker. Yeah, I still don't like single arm pull down. Don't like it. It doesn't personally work for me. I'm only doing it because it's Alex's program. And obviously I wrote his program. But it doesn't work for me because of my leverages. One, I've got a dicky shoulder. And two, I find it in a lot of women, bilateral movements, especially for back, work a lot better. And just from my connection perspective, this doesn't work for me, but...
Different rib cage.
Exactly. Different rib cage, and the fact that I had mine torn open like 2 years ago doesn't help. I do top set, back offset. Okay, why? And nobody can give me an
Because
answer.
Jordan said to do it.
The whole premise for it was to obviously
He does like
be
4
strong.
sets of hamstrings at the minute.
I know. The whole premise behind it was to obviously get like one heavy setting and then get more in for volume. But it's just like, just use a weight and go to failure.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the big hype, it's not fucking science.
And you're not allowed to do low reps either because apparently that's not hypertrophy. It's
No,
like-
no. 6 reps.
So somebody just wrote it down once. The thing is, when you start actually learning about exercise philosophies and all that sort of stuff, and there's loads of different exercise textbooks, the thing to look at is early training, like for the Olympics and for powerlifting in the 50s, 60s, 70s, where people were trying to like make training appear more scientific to come up with a methodology to then sell it as strength coaches to then into teams and earn a living. Everyone's methodology is wildly different. Results were always dependent upon athlete individual effort. That's all it ever came down to. So if someone liked training a certain way and they got better from it, that was what worked consistently. Unless you had stuff like the Bulgarian system, which is just destroy your athletes with the heaviest weight every single day and whoever lives, lives. And there was also a copious amount of anabolic steroid use in those training programs. So you can't really judge one with the other. So powerlifting's a good one to look at because in the 60s and 70s, powerlifting and bodybuilding were very similar. And the guys that got really good at powerlifting were also fucking enormous. So training is training, train hard, enjoy what you do, you'll probably get better.
Do you remember that?
I felt so much more.
Okay. Do you feel it more?
No!
Just because I'm touching it, does it feel it more in between each rep? No. The reason why people stopped doing that was because it didn't fucking work.
It's also
Go on.
really weird.
Oh, go on. Yep. Nice.
Whoa.
Oh.
The other thing, stop worrying about how you look when you train. Like, you don't need to look perfect for Instagram. You can get a bit swingy on the last ones. It's allowed. Put the effort into your set, not into making it look too pretty.
I never look pretty when I train.
So you get all the natty guys that are like, oh, it's got to be It's got to be perfect. And they look like a twig all year round. They're like, it's because of your genetics. It's because you're on steroids. It's like, I was bigger than you when I was fucking 16. Good. Yeah, better set, better set. Movie reviews on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Nick is someone with a somewhat lukewarm IQ. He reviewed Devil Wears Prada 2, and I saw it before that. He was like, really enjoyed it, thought it was better than the first one, thought the plot was great, thought this was really emotional. I watched that whole thing, got halfway through it and was like, I'm gonna fucking leave. And I liked the first one. It was so boring, and there was no plot. It meandered like fuck. The dialogue was shit.
Oh dear.
And I'm just there like, okay, now I know. And now I understand what Nick's brain is actually like.
Yeah.
You're there like, some people just have a certain level of enjoyment they achieve from watching certain things.
Indeed.
And then the rest of us can't.
The rest of us don't.
So, yeah. One of the biggest, you know, when someone fits the bodybuilder stereotype.
Yeah,
They're like, you know what, good for you.
Yeah. So the whole difference again with the neutral grip is, again, you're going to be hitting the lat, but you are also going to be hitting some of your upper back at the same point.
It's like not lower lat.
Yeah. It's like a mixture of the two. I'm personally not going to do this movement. I'm going to do an upper back movement. But I think...
For obvious reasons.
Yes. But I think this is actually too wide for my leverages again.
Probably. It is a wide handle.
That machine that Alex did is too wide for me because, again, it's small. So, and because I'm going to target my upper back just a little bit more because I don't need too much more lat. I probably could do with a lot more lat, but I just don't want to grow it that much. I am going to do upper back because it is going to be better to improve my posture. Obviously, having a baby 10 weeks ago, your posture changes. So, by improving your posture, you work upper back. When you do a stretch, again, or even like, no, okay, rewind, we'll keep that in. When we do an upper back movement, whether it be a row, a pull down, anything along those lines, you still want to load the stretch. See so many people, and they literally cut the rep halfway through, loading the bicep, and then trying to pull back again. So they do this bounce kind of scenario, and they miss out the most important aspect of the movement itself, which is the stretch. So you should be able to feel that weight pull and drag you forward. Don't be afraid about letting the shoulders come forward or anything like that. Holding them in one position is bollocks. You don't need to listen to that. Just stretch and load the upper back and hit all of your muscle fibers, not just the contracted ones.
Everybody talks about the frequency of how you train being the key to growing. I train my arms once a week and do a little bit of top up here and there throughout the week. So you could maybe say twice, but nothing too much in terms of, I'm not doing like 4 different days where I've got arms, it's 2. And keeping that frequency lower, intensity and work within one session higher, actually taking that muscle to the point where it is at failure, fully tasking it and fully exhausting it, you're probably going to see better results, especially in the beginning of your training where you can't connect to that muscle very well. You haven't got a lot of tissue there in the first place. You are going to need to hammer the living shit out of that area to establish mind to muscle connection, to actually get enough stimulation there to cause growth, because most people aren't very skilled. As you get more skilled, you can do fewer sets. This is why people get the whole top set back off or low volume approach. They get the relevance within training, they get it skewed, and loads of people start their training with 2 sets an exercise. Realistically, if you're not very skilled at exercising, or you haven't done a sport before, or you're not very athletically inclined, you should be doing 3 to 4 sets, not 1 or 2, because you don't know how to train properly. And loads of people will say, oh, watch a YouTube video, of course I know how to squat. until you've felt it, until you've got better at it, until you've got really strong at it. You know, I do fucking 4.5 plates on a Smith squat and I'm still trying to refine my squat form. So there is something to be said for higher volume training, but specifically within one session where you pick a day in the week and you do that body part, because you're going to need to learn how each individual exercise works and how they respond to others. So exercise selection, exercise order. It's very important. You're not going to learn that from going, oh, I'll just do a bicep curl today. I'll just do preacher curls today and I'll do straight bar curls another day. So you might not even get properly warm. You might not, and with how little warm up people do these days, like one warm up set, you may not even feel your bicep, you may not even get a pump. And then you're really fucked and people will be like, well, how am I not growing? It's because you're not doing enough. So I do think there's something to be said for doing the more bro-y split and just picking 1 to 2 body parts to train a session and just hammer the shit out of it. Today is back for me and my back is responding really well just from doing back. And my arm day, my arms get bigger all the fucking time and I generally just do a bit of delts and arms. So focus on that body part you want to do on that day. Try not to do like, oh, I need to do everything all the time. Just forget that and just go, right, I'm good today, I'm gonna do arms. And then you'll have a much more fun time as well, rather than being like, gotta be optimal, bro. No such thing as optimal. You also, that's just another word for perfection and we know that's bollocks. So just have fun, enjoy it, feel the muscle, have a nice time training. Bitch and a Cow is a far superior song by Doja Cat compared to this one. Can't really spot this.
No.
Sort of just how fucked do I want my fingers to get.
Yep.
No. Yeah. Good. Yes. So notice what she's doing on the upper back row there. Not this.
Yeah,
so many people lean back, use all trap, and don't actually get their mid back. It's a tiny point, it's here. And if you do this wrong and you lean back, you'll just end up with massive traps, which is cool. But if you want mid back, you've got to stay, abs have got to stay tight, drive those elbows down. Don't just up, because the traps will take over. You see it all the time with people that come to us for clients, and they've got no lats, no mid-back, all trap. And it's like every movement they do on back, you watch them train pull downs, and then rows.
Lateral raises.
And then they don't do any shrugs, because like, my traps are huge, bro. And it's like, yeah, but you can't actually move them.
Yeah.
Yeah, lateral raises.
Yeah.
Fucking that shit, where it's like the first thing they do is that.
Raise, because it might be a trap.
Yeah.
So watch a delt raise, it might be a trap. Literally, it's a trap. And the majority of people use their traps because they do that.
Well, it's this, isn't it? You see it, people's sets go on and they do that.
Yeah.
Lean back and it's all trap.
Oh, it's
I had to call a client on the other day. It was like, I can tell you this is all trap. And he's like, oh, but I feel some delt. It's like, I can tell you just by looking at it. Your fucking trap's up here and you're leaning back like this and the weight is not moving. You're just going to here. You're not actually putting the shoulder through its range of motion. So.
Did you see how Alex got a lat flare in there, yeah? It's just like, here's my lats. By the way, I'm training lats. Walk over there like you've lost your carpets. This is why we don't train together very often. We actually don't train very hard. We do. We just take the piss out.
If it's legs, I'm on the floor. I'm just...
That's very true. So this is the wonderful T-bar row made by Mr. Watson himself. Fucking hate it.
Tell him he's awful at making equipment apart from this.
It is quite awful. However, it is very funky because we've got twizzly handles, so you can twizzle them. And we have adjustable handles because obviously wide, short, narrow people. And also because of the small, we also have an adjustable foot platform. So for me, it is the highest, obviously.
And for anybody over 6 foot, your feet are on the floor because the pad's too short.
If you're over 6 foot, just don't bother using it. So in this position here, when we do a T-bar row, again, we want to lengthen the upper back and thinking about elbows a little bit wider, slightly internalize your grip, So internally rotate, that's what I'm trying to say. Internally rotate your grip, which
Go
is
a
why
bit
the
neutral.
handles are quite good. I must tell Dom this needs greasing.
Is it a bit
Yes.
crunchy?
Come on, Dom. And as you pull up, you want to keep your chest nailed to the pad. This is what I fucking hate. Yeah, all you're doing is a back hyperextension. That ain't working your actual muscle that you're trying or intending to work. So don't do that. Literally, you want your chest, for the big busted ladies of the group, have your bust over it, otherwise you can't breathe. So all the way down, slightly internally rotate the pinky fingers here, and then as you come up, your chest is still nailed to the fucking pad. Yeah, none of this. Oh, because you see what happens? You break the shit. Don't break shit. So that's all you're going to do. Try and keep your neck and your spine in alignment, otherwise you cut off posterior power. The PP, posterior power.
No, that's not what that stands for.
Nice. Oh!
Good. Yeah.
Oh! Ah!
Come on. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it.
Oh! Fuck. Ugh.
Great.
So I did 8 reps. Most people would say that's not hypertrophy, bro.
But it would, 8 to 12.
Oh, 8 to 12.
8 to 12, bruh.
You know what I've actually found?
What?
Females respond a lot better to a weekly undulating periodization model, or otherwise known as WUP.
Yeah, for English, for the people on the camera.
Weekly undulating periodization.
Changing your rep ranges every other week.
Exactly. So week 1, you can do like heavy 6s, 6 to 8. And then the following week, you can do 15 to 20. Oh my God, 20 reps. It's cardio, bro.
Yeah, but
it's not.
It's a Tom Platz classic.
It is.
50 rep squat with 4 plates of side on.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. But women do respond very well to that because they're actually a lot more responsive to more volume. But we also want them to hit different muscle fibers, and we do that by using heavy weights. So by utilizing a 6 to 8 rep range, or even a 5 to 7 if you want to go a little bit heavier, 1 week, and then the next week you go higher, you're not going to kill yourself all of the time because it's very systemically demanding. And plus you can also move that kind of structure around, especially if you're on your cycle. Your cycle is not going to detriment your strength, not at all. It can influence your mood, and your mood can basically tell you whether or not you're fucking strong or not. But it's like if Alex looked at that now and he just went, fuck me, that's heavy, guess what? It's not gonna fucking move. Whereas if he kind of goes, lightweight, baby, like our good old friend, Mr. Ronnie Coleman, then he's gonna move it. Why do you think he did it? Psychology and sport.
Don't you think if you ate more protein, you get bigger? It's like, do you think that if I thought that, I would do it or not? Just like, oh no, I just won't eat more of it because I'm like, no, I won't get any bigger.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how fucking stupid do you have to be to ask that question?
But they've been doing it for years. When I reduced his protein down to 180, people were just like, what the fuck are you doing that for? He's not going to grow any muscle. Well, that's funny. I have booby co-card later.
I saw a reel by JJ the other day, and JJ's a big fucker, but he was there like, you need to eat more protein, you need to eat like 2 grams per pound. I was like, hey, you just like eating protein, mate, that's fine. You will get bigger from eating more calories.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
I love it when people are like, oh, I tried a low protein approach, I didn't get any bigger. It's like, you dropped your protein and kept everything else the fucking same. You
Caloric
ate less
deficit.
food, you fucking idiot. Right, people. Anyway.
Good. Good. You got another one. Go on. Yeah. That was it then.
So heavy.
See, it's because you put the baby plate on.
Of course.
It was
yeah,
the baby plate.
It is.
If I did less weight, it would be lighter. So yes, that's correct.
Never fear putting baby weights on. This actually for me is known as a biscuit. A 2.5 is, no, that one is a biscuit. That one a biscuit or the 2.5 a biscuit?
It's a 5 kilo plate.
Yeah, I know, but
It
you know, it's a
doesn't
biscuit,
need
a bite and a cookie.
Ridiculous. It's a 1 1/4, a 2.5, and a 5. Those are the little ones, yeah? Just use the numbers. That's why they're called that.
Yeah, but it's fun to call it cookies.
What's your split, bro? It's like, what are the individual exercises that I'm using, and how am I using them in order to bring up a certain thing? Is actually what you should ask. Like, just asking for a split, and then they try and copy the split and come up with their own version of it. It's like, if you actually want to know what I'm doing, it's a quite in-depth conversation.
Oh, crap. Go on. Are you gonna drop that? Maybe anything. Go on. Yep, up. Do one more that one, I'll drop the 20. Up. Yep. Good. Go on, up. And again. Oh, partials. Nice. What was I saying? What was I saying?
Huh?
What was I saying? Oh, that's it. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Cameraman. Love you. So we were talking about bodybuilding being hard, and a lot of people basically crack on saying, oh my God, it's so hard because I've got to do everything again and again and consistency. Do you know what? Bodybuilding isn't hard. It's fucking boring because that is literally what you have to do. You have to do the same thing over and over and over again with consistency, day in, day out for a long time before you actually start to see any progress. So it's not hard. It's actually really easy. You literally just have to eat your food, lift some weights, do it again and again, and then you will actually see some progress. And then once you get too fat, stop eating and then start dieting. Still continue to lift the same way that you have done. It's not hard. It's just boring. Alex is going to do shrugs. I am going to do lateral raises because I don't shrug. I don't think that women necessarily need to do shrugs. Especially if you are a bikini or a wellness athlete, you do not need massive traps. If you are a figure athlete or you are a WPD, then you can have more trap work, but I just don't want to do traps. So I'm going to do laterals, and he's going to use the baby weights to do his trap. So as you can see, with a lateral raise, I did use a baby weight, and I can bicep curl this all day long. The thing is, when people do laterals and they use stupidly heavy weights, they're not getting the full range of motion, and they're not hitting the muscle within its full range. So it doesn't matter. I can lateral raise like 12, I think was the last time I did it, but I'm not going to get a really good contraction. So don't be afraid about using baby weights, it's fine. You're just lifting with ego and not with precision. Oh, that's a good tagline. We'll use that.
Preacher curls, they're for this part of your bicep, the top really. I mean, they work the whole thing, but you really want to get in the peak. A lot of people fuck them up because when you're in the stretch, they'll roll their arms out like that because your hands will naturally want to roll out like that. Elbow goes out and you end up pulling like this across. If you want to actually get your peak, you've got to supinate the wrist really hard, which means the wrist and the elbow have got to stay in line. So don't let them fall in like that. Keep them upright like that and you'll get a lot more peak. I have to tell people every single fucking time that bicep peaks are not genetic, it is how you train. But people still don't want to believe because they'd rather inject their arms with fucking synthol. Which still happens, by the way. People just don't tell you.
So this is the example of how to do the bicep curl efficiently. Go on. Good. Again. Go on. Yep. Good. Well done. So he's going to do a drop set because we've only actually used one intensifier in this session and we like to piss around a bit. But this is the example of how to do it properly. His armpits are locked into the bench. His arse is on the seat. Go on. And the only thing that's moving is his elbow joint as the hinge. I'll show you how the bros do it in the wrong way after he finishes his drop set. Go on. Go on, again. Up. Yep. Yep.
Again.
Go on then. Good. Yeah. So stay there because you can do the example of the other thing.
Can I?
Because I just don't want to do it. I'm just going to talk through it. It's because I'm better at talking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, but
Well,
you know.
how idiots do this.
Yes, exactly. So what they're going to do is his arse is off the seat. He's going to lean all the way back as he lifts his bicep. Head butt is going down. Elbows are, well, they're doing something. But the armpits are not directly associated with that. It's the same thing when you do a T-bar row or a shrug when you're just moving your head. A bicep curl is an isolated movement. So again, the only hinge that you should be using is your elbow joint. You lift your ass up off the seat, bring all the things back, all you're doing is a full body swing.
Just shorten the range of motion, that's all people do.
Yeah.
Most people don't get all the way down either. They'll stop
No.
about there because they're like, oh, that's, I don't want to tear a bicep. It's like, so use less weight.
Exactly.
Especially on a free bar, which is just behind you, on a proper preacher curl.
Proper preacher.
People don't fully extend, and that is different to this because that will load the length and range massively, whereas this, because of it's a cable, is much better at loading the short. So it's, well, emphasizing. So that's why I've done this now, because I want to hit more peak. You can do 2 preacher curls in the same session. But yeah, like...
What, do you mean one bicep curl and another bicep curl?
Goodness.
Holy shit!
Yes. But yeah, don't use too much weight because eventually you will hurt yourself. And when you watch videos of people like tearing their biceps on preacher curls, it's just because they're using way too much weight for their bicep. It's pretty simple. Like when they go into that level of range of motion with a weight in their hand and they've never been there before, just roll straight up because it's not used to it. So you've got to train the bicep in that length and range and also the shorten range. And on a free weight preacher, you've got really nothing going on here. All of that weight goes from about there to there. Anything beyond 90 degrees, the force of gravity has gone. Whereas on this, we've got peak contraction here. So different things do different things.
It's time under tension, bro.
Well, and you've just got training is about learning what exercises do and how they emphasize the muscle. So you can do this and that in the same session and be absolutely fine and still get bigger.
Alex is going to do some posing just so I can obviously see where he's at in his off season as well, because even though he does check in with me twice a week, pictures don't obviously tell the entire picture. Are you all right there, mate?
Just trying to get these shoelaces and...
Having issues with shoelaces.
The Velcro shoes.
So whenever we do obviously have a meet up and train and stuff like that and do these silly YouTube videos, which I hope you all appreciate, by the way. We enjoy doing them, even if you don't. We always
wouldn't be this far along in the video if they didn't enjoy it, would they?
Oh, funny. So you've put me off my game now. That's it. I look over him to basically see how he's doing in comparison to obviously his check-ins and things like that. So he does some posing. I do not, because I am nowhere near okay to pose. And that's fine. So we always just run through his mandatories, all of his major poses, that kind of stuff. He analyses body fat and this physique, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, 99% of the time I either say, dude, you're too fat, we need to just diet more. Or we say, you're good, let's carry on growing. Wore your specialty pants for this particular YouTube. Yep, good. That's sound.
You heard that?
Oh yeah, definitely heard that. Yeah, good. Yes, Alex has enormous glutes. Yeah, good. Your waist actually looks tighter, which is interesting. Yeah, that's come on loads. Good. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, your waist has come in a lot more. Oh, very nice. Good. Yeah, better. Good. Hamstrings are still dog as well. Yeah, nice.
Quads bigger.
Yeah, good. Really nice. Yeah, decent shot, that one. See, that's ridiculous because you have more shelf into your glute this year like I've ever seen. I mean, I know that you've got a big arse anyway, but yeah, it's good.
It's all that upper glute work that I thought I needed to do, but didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's helped, whatever it was.
What I really like about your condition now is, as we know, when you gain, your body fat always used to go on your back and your handles.
Yeah.
You don't have that now.
Yeah.
So you're actually growing really beautifully. So I'm very happy. More drugs. So this is the kind of thing that I look for in all of my athletes, not just Alex. Alex has tells. So when we do get ready for prep, as an example, and when we're filling for stage, his tricep is his tell. So when his tricep starts to blur, I know that I've loaded him enough. In his off season, if we start to lose the detail in his flanks and his lower back, we know that we need to just kind of hold back just a little bit. So every athlete has their own tell. It's something that really you should learn about your own self rather than just, relying on your coach to figure it out for you. Don't forget.
Lots of things like that in the industry at the minute.
Yeah.
Plenty of people want to be
have their whole life dictated to them, it seems. And people just got lazier.
Yeah.
There's less, because you've got so much stuff online telling you everything you need to know, and so many people making content about everything you need to know. People are using their brains less and less. So I'm finding more than ever, people are asking just like the most basic question, and it's like, you know this, like you know the answers to that. Use your common sense, but it feels like that's getting worse and worse. And people don't want to learn for themselves. They just want to be told, and they want the reassurance of being told.
I think it's the reassurance thing. They want hand-holding. It's very, very much a reassurance thing. You know, oh, what about this? It's just like, I don't care. It's really, really silly for you to ask me that question. You know, I mean, Alex can ask me questions all he likes, but he doesn't ask me stupid questions like he already knows the answer to. His silliest question that he always asks is, do you think I'm lean enough? Or I'm flat. It's like, no, you're not flat.
This last part was, I am not good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Was true.
But learn a little bit more about yourself as an athlete. You know, like I said, it's you can take a lot of accountability. You don't have to have your coach do this. They should be able to learn your body and get to know you inside and out, because that's how you are coached. But the bottom line is, if you are not learning, you're not being coached. You're being dictated to, and that's not how shit works. I know for a fact that if my legs get a little bit dimply per se, it's because I know that I'm holding water. And if that coincides with the scale, I rarely weigh myself these days because I don't particularly care about how much I weigh. As long as I'm not getting fat, then it's fine. I have a pair of jeans to tell me if I'm too fat. But yeah, learn about your own self, learn about what you react to. If your coach programs you a single arm lat pull down, but you don't feel it, it doesn't feel good, say it back and just say, but I did try this. That makes me feel better. And all the rest of it, but learn about what your body looks like, how it reacts. Like I said about Alex's tricep being his tell. I just noticed that over the years that we've been working together, and obviously in the prep, that was the thing that made it finalised for me. And then he woke up dry and crispy, which was lovely.
Then I went pro card.
And then went pro card. So, know your tells.
Yeah, so in the start of the video, I mentioned my diet. So, like, since I've been like back into bodybuilding, like competing wise, so since 2021, because I competed in 2018 and then stopped for a while because of job, COVID, etc. But since 2021, I've been on some kind of macro plan. It's now 2026. And I was just getting to the point with it where I was like, I just need the freedom to be able to eat what I need to eat on each day. So if I'm hungry, I will eat more. If I'm not hungry, I will eat less. I have the knowledge now to know what agrees with me and what doesn't, and what to eat, the foods I should be eating, and even the stuff that I'm there like, oh, I fancy having a cookie today or having some ice cream, I'll just have it. I needed that freedom to get away from this like constricted box. And I think you see a lot of stuff on social media, which is like, you know, people saying they live in the box and that this is the only way to get better, and like you have to do that in order to be a bodybuilder. And that sort of, that closed-mindedness and that sort of like stressful position that people put themselves in to make them feel like a bodybuilder, it works for the younger guys because they're like, oh, well, I do this. I eat the chicken and rice. I train 5 times a week. I do top set back off. I have this whole thing dictated to me, which means I'm a bodybuilder. You're a bodybuilder once you stepped on stage. And if you're any good at it, then that happens with time. But just because you ate your chicken and rice and that you only ate that for 3 years doesn't guarantee you're going to win shows.
It guarantees you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, you're more than likely going to really hate it. And it doesn't guarantee progress. You could be 100% on that plan you've been given for 5 years. It does not guarantee you will see success. If you work well with your plan, then cool, but that doesn't mean that you should deny yourself the freedoms of real life. And the thing that actually is progress is consistency over time, i.e. going to the gym and getting stronger. Yes, don't get fat, but like you don't need to worry about these tiny little minute details constantly. And you know, they always say, oh, sweating the small stuff is what makes the difference. When you're in the position to sweat the small stuff, then it makes the difference. In the periods of time when you don't need to worry about that, you don't need to fucking worry about it. So what I will say is you will still make progress even if you are, for instance, from the ages of 17 to 19, I got blackout drunk every single Friday for 2 years. I got lots bigger because I was getting stronger and I was training hard. Like you can still do those things and recover. So
Granted, I was young and didn't have a job and that sort of stuff, so I wouldn't advise that people go and do that. But you can still get bigger and stronger. And I didn't start taking steroids until I was 24, so it's one of those where like you put too much stress on yourself. You think that, again, reassurance, having this reassurance of I'm following this plan, so it must mean that I'm doing good. If you're not particularly enjoying yourself and it's not really how you want to do things, you don't need to do it that way just to grow muscle. Like, yes, when you're in a prep, you need to stick to the plan, you need to crack on and do and get leaner and get in that position. And that's when the hard work is. But the other stuff, like as we were saying before, bodybuilding isn't that hard, it's fun. Going to the gym, lifting weights, getting bigger, getting stronger, that's really, really fun. It's not going to fucking war. It's not all this shit which is really over the top. Yeah, great, motivate yourself with that, whatever. But like long term, you need to find a way to make this enjoyable. If you're just eating the same old shit and being like, fuck me, this is a slog. And the guys that are like, oh, I just love it, bruv. It's like, you don't, shut up. Like, you will stick to the plan for however long and then you'll be there like, oh, I could really do with some ice cream. And the guys that aren't like that, who are literally just like, nah, I just eat chicken and rice all the time, they're some of the most boring, soulless people you will ever meet. Generally don't have many friends because they spend all of their time working on themselves towards a goal that never actually materializes because they never share it with anybody and they never actually enjoy their life. They're just so plainly focused on this one thing, they can never appreciate life and they aren't present, as it's known. So what I will say is try and make this more enjoyable. If you want to have a pizza after you've trained, it's not going to do you too much harm unless you do that every single fucking day. But you'll eventually get pulled a pizza. So you'll learn to have some variety in your life and you won't just eat pizzas and burgers as your off plans and do it as a binge. So anyway, that's what we're doing at the minute. More relaxed, and I look the best I've looked at the weight I'm at. And funnily enough, the drugs I'm using, I'm not getting any side effects from. So don't know how correlated that is to stress, but something's working, so I'm happy.
It's exciting shit. Mm-hmm. Many of the exciting.
Yeah, anyway, we've both yapped quite a while now, and
we have.
It's been a session, so I think we can conclude the video and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.